All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Just want to do a quick mic check. Make sure both rooms can hear me.
Hey, buddy. No,
Hey.
can't hear you.
Okay, so it looks like I have to restart one of the chat rooms here so the mic can activate. So let's get that done now. All right. Hey, my day was great yesterday. Thank you for asking. Had a good day in regards to feeling better. I don't know if you guys just want to make sure the other chat room can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay now, Norm?
Oh, we can hear you. Yep.
All right, perfect. So, all right, let's get our screens going here. Here we go. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday and hope you are having a great morning so far today. So, Norm, welcome back. I know you was out of power, but we're glad to hear you and your family are okay with everything that's going on down there in Dallas.
Yeah, thank you. It's been two crazy storms in like just a few months. The last one was in June. It impacted us a lot more. This one was really bad, but the damage was, I guess, the closest real damage was about a mile and a half or so away. There were just a few trees down that took down some lines and stuff in my neighborhood. But yeah, thoughts to everybody affected by the tornadoes here.
Yeah.
And I know there's been a few other places across the country too. So same
Yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. So hope if you're in any of those areas, hopefully you and your family are okay, and friends as well. So guys, yesterday I didn't trade, and I left my setup open, and I guess when I restarted my computer today, it didn't really save the watches from yesterday. So if you guys noticed, I was a little bit off yesterday in the pre-market show. I was feeling very sick. But we did pull through and was able to put a nice watch list together. I saw some recaps after the fact. You guys traded amazing. But again, I didn't get a chance to save that watch list. So if you guys have it, if you guys remember, throw it back. I mean, we could look at the price action and see how that traded. But in the meantime, we have plenty to go over. Here's our gappers list from yesterday. We had quite a bit on here, so we can definitely. I'm sorry, from today, our gappers list. We'll go through that. See some exciting stuff already happening on here. We've been in the chat room since 8 a.m. this morning talking about BIIB. Obviously, this is up quite a bit. $80 since yesterday's close. I think they had a conference call this morning. We have some other ones here we're going to go through as well. Norm, I know you're just trying to get back into swing of things. For the SPY, do we have anything coming up for this week or today?
Specifically for today, SPY is up a little bit. The Dow's down a little bit. A lot of Dow components have reported this morning. McDonald's is one that's dragging it down. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's going to be on our list. Specifically for today, as far as any kind of economic data, existing home sales, 10 a.m., that's it. And then Thursday, there's a slew of data coming out in consumer sentiment on Friday. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Not too crazy, just basically playing earnings mostly this week.
Yep. That's gonna be again. It has created a lot of movement over the last couple of days. So and last week as well. So definitely enjoying some of the stuff we're getting. Here the SPY looks like it's slightly up a bit as well. And what I like about the SPY is we're back at these levels again too. So this is gonna be interesting to see what we get out of this out of the markets in a couple of days, even next week. So we'll see how that goes. If we're going to break out of here, or if we're going to kind of head back. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, you know what? Today we'll do something different. We won't look at yesterday's watch list. Let's just go over our gappers list. We've been having a lot to go through lately anyways, especially during earnings season. So maybe we'll just jump right into it so we have enough time to go through what we have here and also anything else you guys might have on your end. So let's start with BIIB. But first, I want to. A person asked me yesterday. I get this a lot. How do I add columns on the market viewer? So what I do, guys, once you delete everything, once you have that first row there, just type in anything. And once you hit enter, what you can do here, again, you have to do this first. You have to type a ticker, then hit enter. And once the next column appears, what you can do is I hit backspace enter, and then you can get more columns done that way. So again, you could delete them all, right? Once you have that first ticker, you can hit backspace enter and it'll come up. I'm up on the last column. There's several ways of doing that. That's the way I do it. But again, it just makes it easier finding whatever way is best for you. So let's start with BIIB today. This one, again, guys, up 35%. And again, we've seen stuff up 35%, but this one is up $80. I mean, this thing was trading at 229. The close yesterday was 223. This thing is now trading at 301, as high almost as 327. Go ahead.
You're thrilled if you wake up. You're thrilled if you wake up with this in your portfolio.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I would have sold everything already here. Absolutely. So again, this is up quite a bit, guys. Selling off a bit here in the pre-markets. Got some serious volume. 1.8 million shares traded. I did look this one up this morning. Norm, they have a conference call at 8 a.m. Earnings call this morning. So, but it looks like the action started prior to the call. So there must be some positive stuff that was released.
This is a bit of an interesting story here. So, if you go back on the daily and you look in the spring, the massive drop, they had an Alzheimer's drug that the trials, I guess, had. The data came out and they analyzed it, and it looked like the drug wasn't working. So that's what hit it, because apparently there was a lot of promise for the drug. They thought it was going to work, then it ended up not working. It's obviously a large market, a huge market. We've got an aging population. It's a disease. Alzheimer's is a disease that affects a ton of people, and as the population ages, it's going to affect more and more people. There's no cure for it, and now somebody's got something with hope. So it gets hit on that, and then I guess they went back and reanalyzed their data, and they're like, okay, FDA, we were wrong. So this actually does seem to do something. We were incorrect about what we said, so that's what's going on here.
That is definitely an interesting story there, guys. So again, popping up quite a bit, guys. So David from Connecticut just mentioned in the chat room that it is returning to prior levels. So yeah, if you're aware of that, right, this is coming back to its normal trading. Well, not normal, but what it was trading before in the past. So again, just be very cautious, guys. This thing is moving quite a bit. We were seeing the action early in the chat room at 8 a.m., 8:15, just kind of going through some of these candles, and some of these moves are, they're $5, $10. So just be extra cautious on taking a trade here, especially in the pre-market, guys. Again, the fun has happened. Whoever was in here yesterday long is having a great time. Whoever was short is obviously a lot of pain today. But again, just be careful. Whatever you decide to trade this on, wait for a good setup, and you have to really manage your risk. Okay, I can't keep saying that enough, because that's such a big part of trading. If you've been around long enough, you're gonna notice how important risk management is. BMY up 4.9 this morning, 333,000 shares traded. It's got a great pre-market activity. Love the daily chart, guys. Breaking out of two prior areas of resistance right on here. Again, we kind of came down here, kind of found the bottom. Been a nice little run over the last couple of days, getting over some resistant areas, and with some good healthy pullbacks here, and now we are up nicely here. So let's look at our daily chart. Here we go. So our daily chart is also looking great. We're getting over quite a bit here. Again, up 4.9. Norm, any news on this, or are we looking at earnings today as well?
I believe BMY is earnings. I am so out of the loop. I have not even looked at BMY this morning.
No worries, man.
So if anybody has any info in the room,
no worries at all.
Their earnings aren't today, so I think this is on a drug release or info about that, but I don't have specifics on it.
Gotcha. All right, sweet, man. So again, pretty active right now, guys. We have traded this one in the past. Trades very clean, very well when it is in play. You can see here several days trading nicely, so we'll definitely be on the lookout for this one. And just look at the great clean pre-market activity. For a nicey stock, guys, this trade's very clean. So again, I think that we'll definitely keep an eye out for this one. PG. Let's bring up PG over here, Procter and Gamble. This one doesn't trade as well, but today looks to be in play. 201,000 shares traded, up 4.3 at the moment. We are getting towards the area of the last resistance we had a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. So it will be good to watch. Again, pre-market activity is pretty clean because this stock doesn't trade very well. So this is actually, for the type of stock it is, normally if this one's an AMD and MU, this is not a great pre-market activity. But for Procter and Gamble, with the type of way they trade, and Norm, that from history, this can be very, very difficult to trade. But if it is in play, it can possibly give us some good moves. So
this might be one of the outlier days where Procter and Gamble actually trades fairly well. It's got good volume, especially for a NYSE stock. They had earnings this morning, so they beat top line, bottom line, and raised their guidance for the full year. So it's got the trifecta of positive news. coming out of earnings, and I will definitely have my eye on this one today.
Excellent. So we're getting from the chat room that BMY was actually a positive lung cancer result. So that's good. That's good news for them. Definitely going to I'll pop them up this morning very nicely. Again, some good pre-market activity already. So I like the way this is lining up. So very nice. All right, PG, we'll keep it on here. Snap is on here. Let's see what Snap is up to. I know they took a big dive over the last couple of days. All right, so we're kind of getting a little bounce here on Snap. This is nice. We're getting over an area of support right over here, prior resistance as well on this day here, and yesterday kind of got right to that, and we're getting a beautiful continuation already this morning. Some great volume. Snap always tends to have amazing volume. 533,000 shares traded so far. We are up almost 3% on this one this morning. Again, trading nicely. This thing could be in play at the open. It can trade very well. Again, tends to be choppy, but there's some days where you get surprised. I remember this day here, I had a bias of it not trading well, and man, it gave us a beautiful pop right at the open. So I missed out on that opportunity because of my bias. So again, hopefully today could be one of those days we can get an opportunity out of this. Now, I know you mentioned, Norm, last week they had an upgrade, right? An analyst upgrade. Is that still the case?
They had one analyst that upgraded it and raised a price target to 18. Then they had another analyst that initiated coverage on it at neutral. I think their price target was 16. So it actually, that day, it popped a little bit and then sold off. And then they have earnings after the close today. There's been a lot going on in this with some increasing volume the last couple of days. I think they're either somebody knows something in this, or somebody's anticipating them finally maybe turning the corner and doing something positive as far as that goes.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely got a lot of movements in the last couple of days with earnings coming up. There's definitely something that's out there that's creating this beautiful move here. So definitely we'll keep Snap on watch. Again, pre-market activity is looking very good. We've got some great volume out of this one, so definitely can keep this on watch this morning. UPS, what do we have going on with UPS? So these guys are down 3%. 131,000 shares traded so far. We have some levels here I'm going to remove because we'll get some fresh ones in a second. So at the moment, got a nasty candle in here that's kind of throwing things off a bit, but they do got some decent volume. They're down 3%. It is a nicey stock, so you're not going to get the best type of pre-market activity, but this looks to be somewhat active this morning. Norm, earnings on UPS?
Yeah, they had earnings this morning. Earnings beat, but their revenues came up shy. I haven't read about their guidance yet. They also have, I believe their COO is retiring. So a few things going on there. I'll be keeping my eye on this. It didn't seem like it was quite as bad as this drop, but well, you never know. You got to go by price action and not what you think, because you get killed thinking that way.
Yep.
See what this will do to that.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's head down over to MCD, McDonald's. So McDonald's is here, down 3.7. Wow, it's down quite a bit. It's got a nice daily too, where we just blew right all by this area of support here that has been tested 1, 2, 3, and several days on this third time here. So this is nice. Got some really good volume picking up here, 226,000. Norm, what's the news on this one? Doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, they missed their earnings per share by a decent margin. Their revenues were ever so slightly light, but not anything too crazy. I think the biggest problem is their domestic or U.S. Same-store sales. Those comps have dropped more than analysts expected. That's hitting this a little bit. The number of customers has been on a little bit of a decline for McDonald's over the last couple of years, but where they've made it up is larger tickets. Each customer spending more money, and you can see the stock's been in like a straight line. Since the end of last year, it paused a little bit right at the beginning of the year and just a straight line up. So it's been really strong, giving back a little bit of this. Its international sales were good, so it really was just that U.S. number that I think has got people to take a pause on it a little bit more. And yeah, David from Connecticut makes a good point. There's actually an article that came out this morning that spoke about part of this. Maybe I think there's a couple of things. There was the big chicken sandwich wars of 2019 that have been going on between Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, and stuff like that over the last couple of months. But also, they say they've been a little slow to get into the alternative meat market or alternative meat product market, whatever you want to call it, fake meat.
Fake meat. All right, excellent, guys. So yeah, so we'll be on the lookout for McDonald's again. Good pre-market activity right now. Not as clean, but definitely got some volume on here. We are coming up slightly above the 200 moving average, so we'll make sure we'll mark that down when we do our levels, because that can be an area where we can find some support. As Norm mentioned, this thing has been on a tear since the beginning of the year. Just look at this straight, beautiful line on here. Just could be giving it a little bit back now, but doesn't mean that the stock is any sign of a lot of weakness, so we got to be careful with that. All right, HAS here we're down 13.9 this morning to 133,000 traded so far. Not the best pre-market activity, guys. We have traded this one quite a bit in the past, with all the news they've been getting. Especially, I remember when Toys R Us shut down, and this thing was actually pretty nice to play. It was they definitely took a hit when that happened, being one of their largest customers or vendors. But here we're down quite a bit, guys. Trying to figure out, okay, here's the volume. So we have 135,000. It seems to all just be kind of picking up now since after 825. Hopefully that can continue to get going here. And we are hitting our 200 moving average pretty soon. So we'll find some levels on this one. Norm, this is a big drop for this company. 14% when we're trading at 120 down to 100. Almost $20. What's the deal?
They reported earnings this morning, missed EPS and revenues. Haven't read about their guidance yet, but on the miss, they cited some tariff issues. And if you look at this one again, this stock has been hit real hard. Like you said, part of it was the Toys R Us closing, which really is because of Amazon. For the most part, that they've said most people are shopping, getting their toys either at Amazon or Walmart, as opposed to Toys R Us. That's kind of hit Hasbro, but that it troughed at the end of last year in the upper 70s, mid upper 70s, and it really has had a hell of a run. I mean, it got up as high as 125, so that's a really big gain until just recently. So I think the miss here has just scared some people a little bit after this big run.
All right, excellent. So we'll definitely keep this one. Again, doing a really good pre-market activity right now. Volumes continues to pour in even higher than the last bar. So then definitely we'll get some good pre-market out of this. So that completes our gappers list. Let's go over to our Nasdaq active. We'll blow right through this because I know you guys have a lot you're already sending over that we can definitely want to take a look at. So BIIB, we have, guys, again, this one, be very, very cautious. Some of these candles are up to $5, $10. So again, just be careful trying to trade this in the pre-market. Just manage your risk. We definitely have this on our watch list. 2 million shares traded so far. Definitely one that's going to be insane at the open. It is insane already in the pre-market. TROV is a more of a penny stock, guys. We don't trade this one. Again, it usually has this type of volume, always in our gappers list, up 47% today. But usually when it gaps up, it just sells right back down. Very difficult to trade. You can see where the volume is. Here had a couple of good days, but on the most part, it's great at selling down. So if you're going to trade this one today, be very cautious. Let's see what it does here. I'm not going to add it to my list because it's not something I'm going to look to trade at the open. TEUM, also a penny stock that gap pops up here on our list quite a bit. We'll skip that one. Volatility index is slightly down as the markets are slightly up. ETON, this one seems to have an interesting pre-market activity with some volume here. Let's just check what do we have as far as the flow. So it's 16.5, so not as low as some of the stuff we're used to seeing over the last couple of weeks of that 3 million shares and things like that. This one's a little bit higher. Still, we would consider this a low flow. Anything under 20 million shares, you have to definitely watch them carefully and consider the amount of shares you're going to take and manage your risk accordingly. This one has 432,000 shares traded so far. It is up slightly under 19% this morning. pre-market activity is not all that clean, right? We like to see the pre-market activity kind of build a nice flow, some ABCD patterns after ABCD patterns, and then get higher and higher or lower and lower if we can short it. This one here kind of looks pretty much flat, kind of rounding down a little bit. So again, not as interesting or exciting just yet, but we can definitely keep an eye on it, see if we can find some kind of support and resistance. If you guys go back and look at like a SES, any of these low flows that we've been not trading, but at least watching lately, they start off with some good ABCD patterns after ABCD patterns. That tends to usually have a cleaner pre-market activity. This one's not as clean this morning. BNGO, this is nasty, guys. You don't want no part of this. Just look at this here. Look at the candles over the last couple of days. Just nothing that you want to be involved with, so we'll skip that one. SLS, usually a penny stock, not really anything that we can trade. AMD is on here. So AMD actually put in a great day yesterday, so we were kind of looking for AMD to break out of this 31 level, 31.50ish, and they did yesterday, just that. Again, now we're at this next area of resistance, which is the 32 level, right? And we know how AMD can get at these whole dollar numbers. It really reacts very strong to them. We also know about the 34 level as well. 34 at one point was extremely difficult to get over, and every time it got to that level, you saw a lot of volume pick up. So I think AMD looks interesting, guys. Doesn't have quite the volume. We like AMD above 500, above 700. On the days that it was acting, that traded very well, some good volume in the morning, you can tell this thing is already up in the 700,000 area. So a little bit light today. We'll throw it on here as a possible, but might not make the final list. I do like the daily though. It's breaking out nicely here. Found a bottom at 28, close to 200 moving average, not quite, but again, has a nice little pop here over the last couple of days. Let's get down over to last one on the Nasdaq active, OBLN. Also one that's it's more of a penny stock, trading close to that $1 range. Again, nothing too exciting here right now, guys. And also, this pre-market activity, it's not looking all that clean. Next, TROV, we spoke about this one, guys. Again, this one doesn't trade very well. I suggest you kind of stay away from this one and be cautious if you are going to trade it. BIIB, we do have. Stamps is on here, so they are up 18% this morning. 60,000 shares traded. Now these guys, we traded them in the past when they had the news where they were not doing the postal service anymore, but they're gapping up quite a bit today. Now what's going on with these guys? I'm assuming they either had earnings or something in their
I got to tell you, I have not looked at the stamps.com at all today, so maybe somebody has some news. They don't report earnings today. I believe they did get a price target upgrade, maybe. So
okay,
that's about all I've seen. I think they might have had some news come out yesterday.
All right.
So they had a deal with UPS.
Yeah, that should be fun. Again, these guys don't trade very well, guys, so just be cautious. Right now, the volume is not quite there. We can put it on here as possible, but the few times we looked at Stamp, they have not traded all that.
This thing has been crazy.
Yeah, it really has.
The gaps that this thing has in the past when we've traded it's nuts.
Absolutely. So let's head down here. ACIU, nothing much going on there. It's got the volume, it's got the percentage, but look at this pre-market activity, guys. This is not anything clean. And look at the daily also. This is ugly daily chart, right? And what I mean by ugly, if you could tell, there's no flow to it. Is every candle overlaps the previous candles, and it just looks very algo-like, right? There's no pattern or flow to it. So when you see that type of daily chart, usually this is how it's going to trade in the intraday, and already the pre-market activity is not giving you anything to be excited about. Let's head down over to KOOL. Not much going on, no volume. ACRS, nothing happening there. CPST, not much going on there. MOR looks like a foreign stock and really not doing anything much pre-market anyways. OBLN, we looked at this one earlier, it's not looking great. And BNTX, also no volume, no activity there. All right, guys, so we have quite a few on there, not all looking great, but we do have some good ones on here. Let's go over to the chat. What do you guys have on your end? I know someone mentioned
HOG.
HOG,
I've
yes.
got a couple here. HOG, UTX, and NVIDIA had a hell of a run yesterday, so I'll be watching that one today as well.
All right, and UTX, let's put this one here, UTX, perfect. So we'll go through those now, get a little more room on here. So yeah, UTX, I like the daily on this one. Definitely love the daily on UTX. We'll keep an eye on that one. We'll get some levels for it. So Hog, I know a lot of you guys were mentioning this one in the chat room. I saw this one's up quite a bit, 6% this morning. Norm, is this on earnings or?
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, they're kind of the same story that they've had recently. That their international, but their international's picked up. Their U.S. sales are slow, but international's been stronger.
All right, excellent. And let's look at the NVIDIA daily. Ah, this is beautiful here, guys. This is NVIDIA daily. Again, we got the pop here, we got a consolidation, and now we're getting near the most recent highs here. So if we can break out of that, we can see a nice little pop over that 200 tag. So again, looking forward to see what NVIDIA is going to do. Again, it did this before here. We're stuck around, what was this, 187 or so. Finally broke out of that. So we're doing the same thing kind of here, consolidating. Hopefully we can get a breakout. Hopefully the spike can help it as well. All right, so we have Stamp, we have Hog, Apple. Let's take a look at Apple, see what they're doing today. Also a very interesting daily chart on Apple as well. Could be in for a good continuation. Had a great day yesterday, breaking out of the previous highs on here. Yeah, so this could be a good one today as well. It's got some good volume. Pretty much flat at the moment. I'll put this on the side for now, but again, this has a good daily chart as well. So definitely want to add to your side list. Stamp, we have INFY. All right, so we had this one before in the big drop here. But today's not looking all that good. Man, we have 1.6 million shares traded, and this is the way we're trading this. I mean, that's just sad. All this volume is going to waste and no good pre-market activity. So again, guys, I don't see anything great on this right now. Could be in for a good continuation day. But again, just not seeing anything fancy at the moment. Let's see how it traded at the open yesterday. All right, so pre-market had a great pre-market activity yesterday. I remember this. And then here, yeah, actually traded okay, kind of within a range here. Traded all right. But again, it doesn't move a lot neither. You got to take a lot of shares, right? This is from here to here. It's only 40 cents. So just be careful with this one. I don't see anything exciting right now, guys, because again, look at the volume and look at the pre-market activity. The range is literally between, at the moment 905 and 892 or something. So again, nothing too exciting on here. Let's look at AMTD, Ameritrade. So this one, okay, so the volume is not there, right? But I see what you're looking at. This could be trying to close the gap. I know E-Trade closed the gap a couple of days ago. This could be trying to do the same thing. You can see the drop here kind of found a base, and now it's kind of crawling higher and higher, trying to make a move here. So it could be in for a good continuation day. The volume is not quite there yet. It's going to need a lot more. But again, I don't see anything too exciting. But for the secondary list, if this is a turbo breakup and turbo breakdown or up scanners, could be interesting. The issue I have with these, they don't move much, right? These things, they moved a lot here and here with the news of the zero commission. That somebody probably knew something was coming out there, because again, that's not normal for Ameritrade to move like that. These are brokers and banking stocks. They don't move well, and you can see even this move here. If you look at the intraday, it's not big movements. It's very small. And look at E-Trade as well. Besides the drops that we got, their movements are very, very small. Reminds you like a Bank of America. So again, today they could be putting in a good continuation, but I'm not probably going to be watching that one. Let's look at CD and S. All right, this one here, not a lot of volume right now, guys. In the daily chart, you want to be cautious with this one. Daily chart is really all over the place. Look at this, the gap between each day, and also every candle overlapping the previous candle. So you don't have a nice flow here going on the daily. So just be cautious with that. All right, what else we have, guys? So Apple, we looked at. Apple looks good, but I just got way too many to watch. Let's see what else we have down here. Stamps we have on our list.
You got a full list today, buddy.
Yes, I do. Let's look at it. Two more. Teva, yeah, Teva's been on a tear here. You can see here, last couple of days been trading pretty nice. Today it's got some volume, but Teva always has volume, right? Doesn't mean it's going to move very well. So not sure what I could tell you on Teva. I think you're probably going to get a continuation. If it can get above this 850 and head back up to 9, that would be nice. But at the moment, just again, I don't like the way Teva really trades after it's been down under 10 bucks. Hasn't traded very, very clean. You do have some days where it has done pretty well. Over the last couple of days, getting a little bounce over here. Something's definitely happened because you see the volume increase right over here. So it's trading a lot more volume than what it usually does. So it definitely have some news or whatever the case may be. But right now, it's pre-market. I think we have so much stuff going on with these here. We're going to have to focus a little bit on what's getting the volume right now in the pre-market. and then see what Teva does later on in the day, as we can put it on our secondary list. So again, during the earnings season, guys, there's so much that we can watch. You definitely got to fine tune your list as much as you can, and you just can't watch everything, right? So you got to pick the best out of the bunch. And also keep in mind that you can always, if you have something on your list that doesn't look great, you can always scrap it, go to your secondary list, and move something up to take its place if that thing doesn't get the volume. And remember that trading is not only done in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? An hour in, you can look at your secondary list with a little more time and patience and see if there's anything moving there. So very important to control that fear of missing out and trading so early on and taking bad setups, all right? So just keep that in mind. One more, Roku, and then we'll get to announcements. Roku's on the move here. We definitely got to keep Roku on our list because that's something that's been pretty fun to trade over the last couple of days. All right, Norm, take it away. Let's bring over the announcements right in here, and then we'll get back to fine-tuning that list.
Did you get the new announcements I just sent you? Yes.
Oh, is that the new one? Okay, hold on. Let me bring it back. What did I do here? Primary screen. There we go. And it's the second one. Here it is.
Yeah, so Benzinga FinTech Awards, I just want to thank everybody for voting in that. I heard a rumor that voting still may be open, so I don't know if they've shut it down yet or not. If you give it a shot, I tried it yesterday, it was working. So, yep, if AB will put up the link, it takes about 2 seconds. If you appreciate the content that we put out each and every day, you can go do 2 clicks, and I'm testing it right now, and yes, it in fact works. So if you follow that and give it a shot, we sincerely appreciate your vote. You can vote 1 time per day per device. Upcoming meetup, San Diego this Saturday. Trade Ideas Conference is going on that day. It's an exceptional learning experience. A lot of good speakers, really, really good speakers. Not only about active trading like we do, but investing and all kinds of other stuff. If you're unable to make it to San Diego this week, to go to the conference, they do stream it live. I highly suggest you take a little time out of your Saturday and take a look. Well worth it. Several of us from the room, including myself, did so last year, and it was well worth the investment of time that put into it. So I'll see you guys there. Andrew will be there. Looking forward to it. In Clearwater Beach, Florida, November 16th, more info to come. DAS #1 Best Trader competition wrapped up. First place stock trader came from BBT. So congratulations to that person. Really a great accomplishment. I know it's not only stocks, they let you trade options and some other things in there. So it wasn't first place overall, but first place trading stock, it was from BBT. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And if you're looking to either upgrade your membership or join lifetime membership discount recession, 30% off lifetime memberships right now, just use the code recession. Then 1 week chat room trial discount. If you are watching us on YouTube and you have not been in the room before, you can try for 1 week. It does not auto renew. It does not change into a different type of membership or anything like that. You just sign up for 1 week with the promo code premarket24. It's a discount and it's over after a week. Also, if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you will be notified whenever we release content, go live with the pre-market show, trade reviews, interviews, any of that great stuff.
All right, thank you, Norm. All right, perfect, guys. Let's get to this list. Let's start with BIIB. So again, this one, guys, obviously in play today with some huge pop here. This thing is up as much as $80 since the close yesterday. So you can expect this is going to get a lot of activity today. We are up almost 37%, 2.2 million shares traded so far. I'm going to remove some of these levels and get some fresh ones on here. Looks like we're going to have to go back a little bit to get some levels. I'm going to mark down our high of our pre-market, sitting slightly above 227, actually right at 227. So we'll mark that down. And then we're going to zoom into an area where we're kind of getting to the bottom of this range. So it looks like right in here around where the price action is now. Let's just zoom into this area here. So we do have 306 looks like an area. You do have definitely some daily support happening there in these 2 points here. Also prior resistance as well, so you can mark that down. Towards the bottom, you do have an area here at 278. I know these numbers sound crazy, right? Price at 305. We're looking at levels at 278, 227. But if you look at the price action this morning, these candles are almost $10 a pop. So again, these moves are are very wild and drastic this morning, so be very cautious with that. Within this range, this is a huge range, so if you're going to be trading this today, besides mining your number of shares and mining your risk, definitely have some levels in between here. 319 looks like an area where you have some areas of support and resistance as well, so definitely mark that down within the bigger range, which is 327 to 306. Then you have this beautiful gap all the way down here. Obviously we can't just go down to the gap, that's way too far. We do, going back in December, we do have a nice area of support right on here. This is such a clean area of support. This is what you want to be looking for in your daily chart, guys. You want to look for stuff where the price action has bounced and changed direction from, usually means that's an area of support you want to have. So in between this range, so we have three ranges, right? One here, two here, and three here. But in between here, again, there's so much space. You need to really have something in between there. If you tune into this day over here, you can see several days consolidating around this 290, 293, most likely 295 to be exact. But again, the way this is trading with the ATR today is going to be extremely high, and you can see that 293 also being a support area here as well. Towards the bottom of that 278, you have some moving averages slightly above, between 260 and 250. You have a moving average right on here at 256, and then you have the bottom of the top of the range that we just came out of, right? So the top of this range here is going to be 246. You can see several days testing that range on there. That's the top of that range. Again, this thing, guys, trading very wild this morning, so be extra cautious. If you are uncomfortable with this, if you cannot manage your risk accordingly, please avoid this type of stock today, right? This thing can move quite a bit. Look at the spread as well. You know, at one point it's very good now, actually, 40 30 cents, but at one point this thing was like $1.50. So again, be very cautious trading this one today. BMY this morning's looking good, has a great pre-market activity. Our high of our pre-market sitting at 56.24, so we'll mark that down, say 56.24, and we are 52-week high, or not all-time high, but we do have some levels back in October, September. So we can see how that 56.26 is acting as support and resistance here. Towards the top, you have a very clean level here at 59.23. Obviously, one all the way up here at 63. Not sure if we're going to get there today, but this thing is pretty strong right now, up 5.5 with some good volume. So we do have some two levels clean towards the top. Towards the bottom, guys, we do have our highs and lows from the last two trading days are down here below 54. I'm going to mark down these whole dollar numbers, guys. The reason why is because I know when the stock gets to this 55, 54, you can get some kind of change in direction or loss of momentum. So 57 and 58, because if you go back, these levels are so far out, right? They're so far out. You don't have anything above here that it's recent. So I'm going to be looking out for those levels, the whole dollar numbers, to see if anything changes in the loss of momentum or change in direction. So that's BMI today. Again, it's putting in a good pre-market activities. Has our high of the pre-market at 56.26. Trying to break out of that. Let's see if we can actually get going, or we're going to head back down towards 55 or 54. So we'll be on the lookout for that as we get closer to 9:30. PG, guys, is struggling with the high of the pre-market, which happens to be the most recent resistance right over here. You can see several days trying to get above this 125.23. We're not able to. We had a nice little gap today, hitting that 125.23 one more time and rejecting it several times in the pre-market. So definitely an area of resistance we need to get through to get going here. I'm gonna update this level and bring it down over here. You can see 125 has some area of resistance and support over the last couple of days. If we zoom out a bit on this daily chart, we also have an area right in here, 123. You can see the resistance here as well, and here you also have support in this area as well. So 123 looks good. And then towards the bottom, guys, around that 120, where you can see the support, you have the highs and lows from the last two trading days plus the previous day close as well. So I don't need to add any more into this area. What I'll be looking for on this one is for it to break out this prior resistance, 125.23. If we can break out that, probably going to squeeze some people and head higher. This looks to be all-time high as well. Just want to make sure if that's the case. That's going to be interesting as well. Yes, it is. Or let's see, are we going to get a surprise? Yeah, it is all-time high, guys, from what I can see. At least 52-week high for sure. Definitely all-time high. So again, we can see if we're going to test that one more time, or if that's going to be huge resistance. Thank you, Rolo, for confirming that. We can bounce back down and head into these levels, or just consolidate sideways. So just wait for the setup on PG here. Snap, guys, it's putting in a good pre-market activity, some good volume as always. What I like about Snap is on the daily that's breaking out of this area of resistance that we had, and they do have some good news, some some positive analyst upgrades. We have a level here at 1516. We also have one all the way up here at 1647, and obviously the one all the way at 18. Clearly rejection of 1814 and back down. We want to be careful with this moving average around 1550. So be aware that you can also see on that 1550 you do have some areas of support on the daily as well. Towards the bottom, you have plenty. You don't need to add anymore. Previous day close, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So again, love the pre-market activity right now. 15 is obviously giving it some resistance at the moment, but I think we can hopefully break out of that and head higher. UPS. Again, it's got some volume. It's building up. Not the best pre-market activity at the moment. This candle might be throwing things off, making the chart look a little funky here. But towards the bottom, our low of our pre-market sitting at 113.51, and then another level of support right here at 112.49. Now towards the top, we don't have the best daily charts. It's going to be difficult to find levels within this area. We clearly have highs and lows and the previous day close between 120, looks like in 117 in this area here. So don't need to really put anything more here. The best level after the top will be if we can break out of all of these, and then we can head down to 120. But we are looking a little bit weak this morning. Don't think we'll be heading in that direction. So now the challenge for us now, guys, within this area, right? This is a big move from 114 all the way to 117. I don't think you make that in one swift clean action. So we're going to try to find the best, cleanest level in here. Looks like 116.35 might be a good one based off the daily. Again, not the cleanest daily chart, but you can see several days stopping at that area as support and resistance. So again, you can see some change in direction on here as well. So 116.36 looks like to be the best, cleanest level within this range. Again, these are an area, guys, so be aware that we might not get to that 116.36 exactly. But if we break out of that, you can see that we can possibly head higher. Towards the bottom, it looks like 112 is going to be a huge support as well. We have several days testing this on a bigger range. If you look at the daily on the bigger range, that 112 has been the bottom of this range. So if we can break out of that, we definitely have some room to get lower to 110, and also towards this moving average down here around 109, 108. So plenty of levels for UPS, guys. We'll see how it trades. Right now, pre-market activity is very active, but it's kind of stuck within this range. We'll see how it does later, around closer to 9:30. Here we have McDonald's. So McDonald's did a nice bounce, had a nice drop all the way down to 201.50. It's bouncing back up now. The top of this range here, you can see you have some levels of support and resistance right on here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close. So let's see if we can get back above into this range. If not, 201 is our low of the pre-market. Prior down to this, we have a level all the way down here. It's a very clean level at 195. Again, I don't think we're going to head down to that level, especially with the 200 moving average sitting at around the $200 mark, 199.60. I'm going to mark that down. If we lose that, then we have a chance for this. But if we don't lose the 200, there's no way we're probably going to get down here, just because this could be a good support for especially a company that's been doing so well over the last couple of months. You can see this thing has been on a huge uptrend. They're giving some back today, but again, I don't think overall this stock is weak. So just be cautious on that, guys. Again, good pre-market activity. Looks like we're trying to put in a bounce here. If we can get above the pre-market high, the high of the lows of yesterday and the day before, which is right on here, this can definitely head back into its trading range that it was in. HAS. This one continues to drop, making a new pre-market low. So I definitely like this one, the way it's trading right now. I'm going to mark down 165 as the market low. We are losing the 200 moving average already. So that's interesting that we did not bounce off of that. Towards the top, guys, you have your high of your pre-market, which is way up here at 112. Towards the bottom, this daily chart is not clean, so levels are going to be hard to find here. I can see an error here around 104.98, basically 105. Towards the bottom, as we are continuing to lose it here, let's go into this section here. Man, this is a nasty daily chart. Another one here at 95. You can see the support. Again, not the cleanest, but you definitely have a support here at 95. You have a support at 100 and one at 105. So that's the cleanest levels we can see at the moment. We're holding this 100 right now, 162. Let's see what it does as we get closer to the market open. AMD, what are we doing with AMD? So AMD is not giving us much right now, still very low volume. So I'm going to remove it from our list. Hasn't done much. Let's just get rid of it. Stamps at the moment also has a nasty pre-market activity. What I like about Stamp is that selling off, and it can actually start to head back to where it was trading at, right? It was down here, this area around 75. So I am a little short bias on it. If it can get going, high of the pre-market is 99.99. Low of the pre-market at 89.50. We do have a moving average right on here at 83.09, and then we have all our highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right in here, plus the previous day close. So again, I'm a little short bias on it. I will be looking for this one on my turbo breakdown. If it appears there, I'm definitely going to take a look at it and see if we can find an opportunity to short it. If we go back, you can see the range 100 is the top of this range, and you also have your 89 also, I'm sorry, 83, the also being support in this area as well. Plus where the price action is at now, around that 90.50, you can see areas of resistance as well. So I think we have plenty for Stamp at the moment. Again, not looking all that great, but if this thing does start losing, it could be a good short towards back to this range where it was trading at. UTX, guys, no volume still on this one, so I know Norman's going to be watching this one for a possible, so we'll keep it on our secondary list, but I'll remove it from our main list this morning. HOG, so HOG is it's looking like it's going to do some stuff this morning. It's up on 6%, 74,000 at the moment. High of the pre-market 39.98. Now let's go back over here, see what we have. All right, so we have been up here in most recent months. Towards the top, we do have an area at 41.32. That's a nice clean daily chart there. And towards the bottom, you do have an area right here of support and resistance at 38.50. So see the difference, guys. When you do have a cleaner daily chart, you can actually find levels a lot easier. This is why it's so important to have those clean daily charts where your levels just stick out, right? When they stick out like that, like a sore thumb, it's easier to find levels that everyone is also going to have. So it's very important. So we do have highs and lows here around 37, previous day close. Don't need to add anymore. Right now, it's pretty flat, right? It is a nicey stock. It's pretty flat at the moment. So hopefully at the open, we can get some movement out of this. NVIDIA, guys, the daily chart looks great on NVIDIA. I think this thing is hopefully going to test this 200. High of the pre-market, 199.30 to be exact. So we'll bring this right up over here, 199.30. Towards the bottom, guys, we have plenty to move here. What we'll be looking for is towards the top. If we can get a breakout out of this 199.30 over to 200. Towards the bottom, we have highs and lows in the previous day close. Let's see what's the next area of resistance that we have towards the top, because I know we're not at all-time high on this one. So going back to November, October, we got a nice level here off the daily at 222. And if we dig in a little bit more in here, slightly above, we have one at 207. So I don't think we'll get to 222 in one smooth move. So we'll hopefully can break out of that level at 199. ROKU, guys, daily it looks great right now. We have other stuff that looks better right now though, but ROKU has been so fun to trade. So I'm going to keep it just as a possible. We do have highs and lows over the last 2 trading days right around the price. So far, the price action is right in the middle, really, of the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, sitting right at the previous day close. So towards the top, if we can break out of those levels that we have already from yesterday's highs and lows from the last 2 days, 145.95, and then towards the bottom, we do have a base right here at 118.33. So you only need to add these 2, guys. Again, we know this thing can move. It has moved quite a bit in the last couple of days, but it has a lot to go through over the top or bottom for the last 2 trading days. If it can break out of that, it can give us a good opportunity. All right, guys. ETON, I'm going to remove this one. Doesn't look interesting even for our low flow of the day, so we'll get rid of that one. And guys, we have quite a bit, so let's go through this list again. Let's see what some of our favorites are, what we're going to keep and what we're going to get rid of. So
you're gonna have to run out and get some more monitors before you open Carlos with that list.
I agree. Guys, so BIIB, this one is definitely in play. It's going to be active. Me personally, I am not going to watch it. I think it's going to be very difficult to manage your risk. This thing, the spread.
Keep an eye on that spread too.
Yes, the spread.
80, essentially 80 cents right now.
Yeah. So
because that 310.55 doesn't count. It doesn't have any shares behind it.
There's nothing on there.
How many are there?
Yep, there's nothing on this. A good call, guys. When you see that 0 on there, there's probably some guy was sitting there with 25 shares, right? So you don't want to be messing with this. So I'm going to remove it, guys. I don't see how I'll be able to manage my risk in this type of trade. this type of stock, so I'm going to get rid of it. But it definitely is in play. Maybe when it settles down later in the day, we can get something out of it. BMY, I do like the range it's creating in the pre-market, guys, hitting 526, heading back down here. We don't have recent levels, so what I did here, I marked the dollar, the whole dollar numbers just for reference. Okay, these are not strong, crazy levels, but these are just for reference in case we get going. Because if you look back, we are at 52-week high. If you look back, we are at 52-week high, and the next areas of support are also kind of sitting around the whole dollar numbers. So if you go back into this October area, so this is what I marked those on there. So we'll see what we can get. But again, right now trading pretty good in the pre-market. It's got some great volume of 4.4. Definitely going to watch this one. I think I like this for one of my favorites. For either long or short, we'll have to see how this can go either way. We'll see how the market opens on that one. PG also looking very nice this morning. Again, this could be a day where PG trades very well. We do have 125 or higher for pre-market, and then towards the bottom we have several days on here, highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Snap, guys, again, this one is bouncing back a bit. It has some clean pre-market activity, but as we know, Snap tends to be very choppy, so be very cautious on it. It's got some great volume today. We do have some levels on here. We do have a nice base towards the bottom as well. We're getting rid of, pulling away from. UPS, not the cleanest pre-market activity, guys, but it does have some good volume. 207 down to 2.7. We got some levels on this one. I think this can trade very well today as well. McDonald's, I'm going to keep an eye on also. We do have some good support here. We lost the support over the last couple of days, so we'll see how that trades in a second. And then we have Hasbrook, which continues to lose the pre-market low. Again, a new low being created here, so we'll keep an eye on that. We got Stamp as well. Looking for, you know what, Stamp I'm going to remove, guys. The volume is not great. We'll look for a turbo breakdown on Stamp. HOG also looks a little bit interesting. Andrew's going to come on now and finalize the list. So again, we got quite a bit to look at today, guys. You can't watch everything. Pick your favorites and stick to those. You can always go back and look at your list that you put together. Take care, guys, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. And for members, I just wanted to remind everybody, so tomorrow will be Workshop Wednesday. It's usually at noon Eastern. It's going to be an hour early at 11 a.m. Eastern. William's going to be doing it on hotkeys and such. So you can take a look at the announcements up top. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Wednesday workshops, guys. We plan to have Wednesday workshops or more, the contents on them. So definitely tomorrow I'm going to attend as well, because that's a very, very important hotkey, normalized hotkey. So William is going to, work on that. Definitely, please try to make it. We also record it and make the recording available. All right, so let's go through the watch list quickly, because we have a few minutes. So I'm sorry that I was late.